Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good afternoon. I hope you all are sound and safe. Hi, Miss Shivani. Hi, Buoyancy Solutions. I hope everybody is doing well. Hi, Talibi. Hi there, Robotics. CS STEM Lab. So I hope you are very excited for this webinar on how to implement latest CBSE AI curriculum for classes 9th and 10th. Good evening, Mr. Nishit. We will be beginning with our webinar soon. I'm just waiting in for more people to join in. Hi, Miss Vinu. Good evening. So kindly do drop in your name with the country name you are joining us from, and I will be more than happy to give you a shout out. Good evening, technical head. I think it's a good time to start up with our webinar. I once again welcome you all to the webinar on how to implement latest CBSE AI curriculum for classes 9th and 10th. So with me is the moderator of this webinar, Mr. Swapnil Kumar, the head of business development team from STEMpedia, and also joining us, Ms. Varsha Sharma. She will be the guest speaker. She is joining us from Lancers Convent School, New Delhi. So I welcome you both. And I welcome Mr. Swapnil to please take it forward.
Yeah, a very good evening to all participants. Thank you so much, Vivek, for the kind introduction, and a pleasure to meet all of you again. Thank you so much, Varsha ma'am, for taking out the time today to address our educators on this new change that has come up in the CBSE AI curriculum. I hope my screen is visible. I think you can give a thumbs up in the chat to Vivek to just confirm.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, great. So thank you so much. So as introduced by Vivek, so we will be focusing today on the revised artificial intelligence curriculum for classes 9th and 10th of the CBSE curriculum. So we are specifically talking about the subject code 417. I know a lot of educators have been already taking up this subject, and I hope you might have seen some of the changes that have been suggested by the governing board during March and April of this year. And a lot of educators had come back to us to understand how it has changed, why it has been changed, right? And as an educator, we always teach our students to question the why behind the steps and the motive. So why it has been changed, how it has been changed, what changes for educator in CBSE schools, what changes for educators otherwise, what can be some of the things that we can take up as the agents of change in our school, right? And we'll also focus on how some of our shining stars like Varsha ma'am have been executing this curriculum for a long time now, and yeah, she'll also share her wisdom. So it's going to be action packed. I will try to make it as engaging as possible, but do keep sharing all of your questions on the chat So Vivek will either try to answer them on the chat, or otherwise, what we'll do is towards the end of the session, we'll take up all those questions, right? So yeah, I'll be starting now. So I think just to take you through the webinar itinerary. So first, we'll be talking about the CBSE AI skill curriculum. So specifically, the idea behind this subject, why it was introduced, what was the methodology that was being followed by CBSE. Then we'll focus on what is the difference between the old curriculum and the new curriculum, why those changes have been made as well, right? And then we'll hear from Ms. Varsha on how to take up this subject in the school, because Lancel Convent, being one of the pioneer schools in Delhi and in India, have been taking up this subject very, very well. So I think there is a lot for us to learn from Varsha ma'am. Then we'll also focus on what are some of the resources we have already prepared for educators like you, so that your work reduces slightly. Of course, the biggest hurdle is to communicate it better to the students, and that is something that is done by the virtue of being such a nice educators like yourself. But then how STEMpedia can support you in the best way possible. And then we'll focus finally on some feedback, some questions, some of the ideas that you guys might have, right? So quickly, I'll jump to the first component, which is what is it that is made compulsory or made available by CBSE under this AI skill subject. So AI skill subject, which is the artificial intelligence skill subject, goes by the subject code 417. The assessment of this curriculum is generally taken up in grade 9th and 10th. We first saw this curriculum in 2023 when it was introduced by CBSE, and there was some material available to the educators through the student repository and the teacher repository on the CBSE website. Earlier, also, the idea behind this curriculum was how to teach some of the core new age technologies like artificial intelligence, but then collaborating it with data analytics, with algorithms, with critical thinking, with machine learning, and more. Right? And it was built from the approach of being a holistic curriculum. So it didn't only focus on, and I think a lot of you educators have already seen it, it didn't only focus on artificial intelligence. So it started with green skill, presentation skill, so that the students become more holistically developed by the skill subject. It is not only focused on making them coders, right? We want them to become better executors of their ideas. We want them to become better makers with these new technologies, right? And that is where we believe this curriculum fits very, very well. It also promotes ethical use of AI, and I think a lot of educators are already seeing, how AI is being taken up at such a rapid pace by our students. It's very important how we can give our students an idea about how to use AI ethically in their life, and especially when these learnings are inculcated in a very young age, we believe that the impact of it goes beyond, right? And then again, focusing on cross subject collaboration as well. So, not taking up AI only as a subject. So, CBSE has given this idea that AI should also be connected with the science, the mathematics, the social studies, the language subjects that the students are learning in grade 9th and 10th, how we can collaboratively ask them to create projects, combine some of the ideas that they have learned in the other subject, right? And create some real life and real world meaningful projects. So that's definitely there. And finally, of course, it makes our students future ready. And yeah, that was the idea with which this curriculum was developed. If I go a little deeper into the ideas that were used from a pedagogical approach, I think it is to impart technical skills in AI, then of course also provide some of the life skills. So as we mentioned, life skills around empathy, life skills around solving some real life, real world problems, and then also AI readiness. The way the world is changing, I believe in the next 5 years, if there are students who have not heard or used AI, unfortunately, they'll be left a lot behind, than their peers in terms of the adaptability of technology. So it is very important for us to be AI ready, but at the same time, it should not only be about being a technocrat learning only about AI. It also needs to include the concept of life skills, how we can build empathy, how we can solve real world problems with it, and of course the technical skills. It's not only about talking AI, but we should also learn how to use AI, right? So at the center of this Venn diagram is where the AI curriculum by CBSE really fits very, very well. And yeah, that is the main idea behind this curriculum, right? Next, we'll be moving into a little deeper into the curriculum. So, as you can see, in grade 9th and in grade 10th, there are two parts to the curriculum. So there is part A, which focuses on employability skills. So it does not talk about AI specifically, but what it tells about how to build some of the basic life skills, communication skills, self-management skills, right? So things like that, which are also very essential in the world that we are living in right now. And I don't think there is a better example than the educators who are here with us in this webinar today. I think I'm pretty sure when you would have started your teaching journey, the world would have been very different, right? At that time, maybe even if you are not so conversant with Microsoft Word, with PowerPoint, with some of these technological tools, you can live fine at that point of time, but not anymore. So the way the world is changing, 3 years back, I think most of us had not even heard of generative AI, chat GPT. Words like these would have been alien to us, right? But then in the last 2 years, the way this wave has taken up the world, now we can't imagine a life beyond without these AI tools. It has made our life so easy, right? But at the same time, to be employable for our students in the next generation, it is important to teach them some of these life skills: how to ride, how to write, let's say, a simple paragraph about let's say your favorite food, right? A lot of our students are also going a little back on those skills. So CBSE has emphasized on those employability skills in this part A. And then in part B, they have moved to this more subject specific skills. So going deeper into artificial intelligence, about IT tools, how to use them, right? How to use Python, ethical use of AI, and whatnot. Right? So this is a brief idea that we had prepared for you on why it has been segregated into part A and part B, right? Now, coming to the first curriculum, which is the grade 9th curriculum. So, in this grade 9, the focus is on basic Python. So, basically, the students are introduced to Python, to machine learning, AI, data visualization, statistics, data interpretation, data literacy. So, everything is introduced in grade 9th. And as you would expect, the students are expected to go to a slightly more advanced stage of these concepts in grade 10, right? So how we actually execute it is through the PictoBlox software. I think a lot of you might have already used it. If you haven't already, you can download it from the internet anywhere. It's free to use for all educational purposes. And then it also has the Python capabilities. So the students need not go on any other platform to build projects with Python. Whether you are using Jupyter notebooks, there is a Python notebook. Whether you are using the Python IDE, there is a Python IDE available on Picto as well. And then we have also built some really good features for first time learners. So I'll come to that a little later, but yeah, this is a brief about the subject 417 for grade ninth. Now, I want to focus on what are the changes in grade ninth this year. So there are a couple of new topics that have been added, one being mathematics for AI. So moving into being a math graduate, I think I have always been fascinated about the mathematics behind artificial intelligence. A lot of it is built from probability and statistics, right? And you really grow from there to move towards statistical interpretations, which are beyond uh, any previously trained data, and that is where you go into the large language learning models, LLMs, as you popularly call it. And that is how the mathematics behind AI is built in a very layman term. I'll not go into too much technical depth. But math for AI, we really welcome this new topic because I think that really builds the base behind and also builds the interest among the students on how to pursue artificial intelligence even at a later stage, right? Then also focusing on data literacy. So focusing a lot on visualizations, how to create those visualizations. Again, a lot of us have spent so much time creating charts, pie charts and whatnot. So I think that's a very welcome step again. And I think, CBSE has taken cognizance of the way the world is heading, right? To introduce generative AI as well in grade ninth. So that includes, also trying out some of the introductions to generative AI, introducing them ethically to tools of generative AI, how it can be used for the benefit of the user. So there has been a lot that has been spent, a lot that has gone from CBSE's end to make these changes, and I think these changes, as educators, we should really appreciate it because this is where again the world is heading, and we always talk about making our curriculum as I would say it should have the references of the present time, right? If a student is living in the world of generative AI, if they don't see generative AI in an AI curriculum, right, it sort of gives them the idea that maybe this is outdated. So I think this is a very welcome step according to us. And then we have just prepared a short brief of what are the changes. So as you can see in the old curriculum, there was introduction. So specifically in part B, which is where the changes have actually been made. So part A is more or less the same. Part B, so the changes have been, there were four topics earlier. So there was introduction to AI project cycle, neural network, and then introduction to Python. But then now, again, to balance out a lot of theory and practical understanding, because the previous curriculum was also very, very theoretical, they have focused on AI reflection, project cycles, and ethics right from module one. Then introducing data literacy, maths for AI, which is statistics and probability. A lot of you educators are already aware. Some of these concepts are already being taken up in grade ninth and 10th mathematics and CBSE, but then also 11th and 12th, I think all of us know that this becomes the cornerstone where, on which I think a lot of 11th and 12th mathematics and even college mathematics is based. Then introduction to generative AI, I think, as we mentioned, this is a very welcome step. And then finally, introduction to Python remains the same. So as you can see, for grade ninth, there have been major changes. And these changes have been made to make sure that the curriculum is equal part theory and equal part practical. So that is the idea behind these changes. And yeah, in case you want, you can take a picture, right? Anything for your reference. Anyways, we'll share all of this material will be available on YouTube, so you can refer to it later as well. But yeah, these are some of the changes that have been made, right? Now we'll be moving to grade 10. Again, in grade 10, now, as I had mentioned, the idea in grade 10 is to build up upon things that have been learned by students in grade 9, but then also adding some components around design thinking, around making our students makers from learners, right? So as you can see, there is advanced Python, AI data visualization, somewhat similar. to what was there in grade 9, of course, in an advanced stage. But you will see design thinking here, entrepreneurship here, computer vision here, natural language processing here. Again, some of these advanced concepts which are already being used by a lot of our students and by a lot of industrial applications, right, right from Google to Amazon to YouTube, and I think everything that our students are touching these days has some AI impact in it. So it is pretty cool that they are getting to learn computer vision, NLP, such topics in grade 10th as well. Again, we primarily base this curriculum on the PictoBlox software, right? Again, in terms of what is new, I think in terms of modeling of AI, earlier what was happening was in grade 10th was the first time when AI modeling was being introduced, but then half of it has been sort of moved to grade 9, and grade 10 has the other half, which is the advanced concept related to it. Then also how to evaluate a lot of these AI models. And this really sets the foundation behind any student taking up AI, even as a graduation degree. It gives them a very, very good idea of how to really build up, right? So, right from understanding how the project cycle goes to modeling an AI model, right? Going to advanced stages of it, evaluating those models. I think as the teachers of IT or even tech enthusiasts, it makes me pretty excited, that our students are getting to learn a lot of these things in grade 9th and 10th. I think a lot of us didn't even get the opportunity of learning it in college. So yeah, again, I feel that is a really, really good opportunities for our students. And then finally, also going deeper into statistics, to statistical data interpretation, how to build again visualizations on complex data sets and models, which is something that the students really, really enjoy. And from a student perspective, and I was a student of mathematics and statistics, I think around 5 to 6 years back. I think statistics is one of the most cool features in mathematics, as a lot of a lot of people say. So mathematics is the language of the universe, right? So statistics is how statistic is to mathematics what movies are to poems and writings and stories and novels, right? So it's a visualization of the beauty of the language, and that is why students really, really enjoy statistics. So yeah, again, it has been added in the new curriculum in grade 10. Again, we have prepared a short comparison on what have been the changes. As you can see, most of the things, at least on paper, they look similar. Again, part A remains the same for grade 10th as well. But then in part B, there is the introduction to AI has been removed. Now, AI project cycle, data science, computer vision, NLP, which were earlier also there, they are still there. But then, as you can see, evaluating models has been introduced this year, right? Ethical frameworks for AI project cycle, because it has also been introduced in grade 9, so it has a sort of revisit in grade 10th. Then advanced concept for modeling, right? And then basically statistical data interpretation. So these concepts have been added new, and AI introduction to AI as a topic has been removed. But I think the essence of the topic still remains there, because there is a revisiting AI project cycle also there in the module 1, right? So yeah, I think to just sum up, in grade 9th, as we saw, a lot of changes have been made to make sure that the change is going from more theoretical AI learning to a more practical approach to AI learning, with the introduction of AI project skills, right? AI project cycle, how to model AI and whatnot. And then when we are talking about the grade 10th curriculum, it has been made more continuous with the grade 9 curriculum, and then some of the more updated real life applications have been also been added, right? So yeah, just that is the brief that I had for you in terms of what were the changes in the curriculum. But next, I want to invite Varsha ma'am. So Varsha ma'am is has been a pioneer in teaching AI in the Delhi circuit. All of us are well known to her. She's very active on LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure a lot of you might have seen her on LinkedIn as well. So I'll invite Varsha ma'am now for sharing her wisdom on how to teach this subject in the schools.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure and honor to join you all today for this insightful session on artificial intelligence in education. I'm truly excited to share my thoughts on how AI is reshaping the way we teach and learn, and how platforms like STEMpedia are empowering both educators and students to become future ready. While Sir has already shared many important points about AI and its role in education, I would like to share a few thoughts from my side as well. As we all are witnessing, artificial intelligence plays a powerful role in transforming education globally. It is making learning more personalized, interactive, and accessible. With AI, students can learn on pace through smart tutoring system, get instant feedback, and explore subject through real life situations. AI also helps teachers by routine tasks like assessment, creating lesson plans, and identifying learning gaps in students. This means teachers can focus more on creativity, critical thinking, and student engagements. So, in today's digital world, being AI ready is no longer optional, it's essential. Whether students can choose their career in technology, healthcare, business, even in arts, AI is impacting every field. So, helping our students to understand and use AI tools and prepare them for future, it's really essential in today's world. So now that we understand how AI is important in today's world or education system, I want to share my personal experience on how STEMpedia are helping schools and students for these changes effectively. Personally, me and my school, so STEMpedia has made a remarkable difference in how school adopt 21st century skills. Its hands-on learning experience, DIY kits, and AI integrated platforms make complex concepts easier to understand and more fun learning. Students are not only reading from the textbooks, but they are building projects, prototypes, experimenting, and learning by doing. One of the best part I find is training and support provided by STEMpedia for teachers. It gives educator the confidence to introduce new topics, new concepts like AI, coding, even robotics in a simple and engaging way. This approach not only boosts technical skill, but also nurture the creativity, teamwork, and logical thinking in students. So in short, I can say STEMpedia is helping students shifting from traditional teaching for future ready education. And if I talk about STEMpedia's AI curriculum for class 9th and 10th, which I personally went through these days, and I have prepared many activities out of it. It is thoughtfully designed to align with CBSE guidelines and NEP 2020. It introduces students to AI components or concepts in a structured and step-by-step manner, I can say. So the curriculum covered the basic artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms, computer vision, NLP, even data handling can be read very conveniently. But what makes it special is a project-based learning approach. Students make their own projects, build their prototype, they create a AI solution based on real life problems. They are using PictoBlox, which is a very user-friendly coding platform, which I personally used. Even in my boot camp, it was 5 days AI boot camp I had introduced, and the team and resource person from STEMpedia came to school to conduct the session. It was very insightful, and even we are. Very happy with the curriculum they have designed not only for class 9th and 10th, plus it introduce AI from class first onwards. So it's a very engaging activities. It also include engaging activities like assessments, interactive lesson plans for teachers for both informative and exciting, I find. So by the end of the course, students not only understand AI, they gain confidence in building simple AI project by their own. Using PictoBlox, it has many other softwares inbuilt. So curriculum is the great way to build a strong foundation in AI and inspire young minds to become future innovators. So Sir has already covered important points and the differences from the revised curriculum and what is the new in this. So I don't want to mention that again. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and sharing your words of wisdom with all of our viewers. Right. So I think I'll move next, right, to what is it there for the educators as well. So we have been working with all of our educators to make sure, how we can improve our offerings and curriculums in a way that is more seamless, more easy to execute for them in real life. So this is how our entire ecosystem sits. So as Varsha ma'am mentioned,
Mr.
so we
Salman, I
have
think
a,
you're not sharing your screen. Can you please check?
yeah, just
Yeah.
a second. Yeah. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Really sorry. Yeah. So this is how our ecosystem looks like. So there is structured curriculum that is there with the activity books. So as Varsha ma'am mentioned, so it is not only CBSE grade 9th and 10th, but then beyond it, we have curriculum for ICSE schools, for state boards. Now we also have curriculum for Cambridge curriculum alignment. And then, in case there are any educators in UAE who have recently been introduced to AI curriculum by their government as well, we are working on creating a customized curriculum for UAE artificial intelligence as well. So again, that uh, also shows the approach that we have. We have also been always been curriculum centric, and we understand that every board and every educator's requirements are a little different. So that is how we approach our curriculum. And then this curriculum is supported by PictoBlox and Porky, which is our coding software and our robotics kit. And I hope a lot of you have already experienced it. In case you haven't already, please let us know in the feedback form. We'll be very, very happy to give you a demo or a sample, right? Then, as ma'am mentioned, we focus quite a lot on on-site teacher training programs. So we work with the school and the school educators on how to seamlessly integrate the curriculums that we have in their lectures and lesson plans. And that is also supported by the learning and assessment system that we have built. I'll quickly show you the LMS also for the school access and also for the teacher access so that you can understand how you can utilize it better. Again, this LMS is also provided with the grade 9th and 10th curriculum we have. So, in case you don't have access to this LMS, you can again let us know in the feedback form, and we'll be very happy to share a sample access to you. And in case you are interested in going ahead with the grade 9th, 10th curriculum, we'll be very happy to give you full access as well. Right. And then finally, we also organize an international level competition. And again, some of you are already aware of it. It goes by the name of Codever. We recently concluded the sixth edition of Codever with the finals held at the Qatar National Convention Center in Doha, in Qatar. And it was a huge event, more than 1,500 plus attendees, students, teachers, a lot of industry experts, so many discussions around how to where AI education is heading, where our students are heading in terms of hands-on learning, and it was really a culmination of how, let's say, a student in India or a student in Middle East is learning from a student in Indonesia, of Turkey, of Ghana. So they make friends also internationally, which as a student, it always seems pretty cool to them, but then also gives them a lot of exposure on different ideologies and the way students of different curriculums and boards and whatnot think, right? So, this is our entire ecosystem. Specifically, what we wanted to focus on today is the LMS. So, as you can see, this is the school access of the LMS. So, in the LMS, you get access to our videos, courses, quizzes, assignments, reports. So each and everything is there for your reference. And then this is the school access. So this is just a sample of a KV school, right? So you can basically, the school member can see what are the courses that have been given to the school, how I can manage my students, which student gets access to which course, how many of them have completed the course, are still completing the course, how many have submitted the assignment, have not submitted the assignment. So each and everything is available for the school management to understand the progress of the students. But again, as I mentioned, a lot of our focus has always been the educators. So we have spent a lot of time to build specific lesson plans, lecture slides, activity sheets, worksheets, solve worksheets, each and everything that an educator needs to teach this subject of AI in their CBSE schools, we have it ready for them. So you get all lecture slides, not in PDF format, but in PPT format, so that in case we understand that every educator has a different way of expressing themselves, you can make any changes that you want. The subject matter is there for your reference. Again, we want to become a support system. We don't want to become maybe another vendor, right, in your school. So that is the idea. We also provide you with activity sheets in case you don't want your students to refer to the LMS to basically get the instruction for conducting the activities. So they get an activity sheet which has all the different instruction for conducting the activity already there, right? Then we also have worksheets in case you want to include assessment as a part of your classroom. So you can print out those worksheets in case you want. And then we also have solved worksheet so that the students or you can also refer to understand what are the correct answers and what are the wrong answers. So yeah, this is primarily about the ecosystem that we had. I want to share a couple of new interesting things because I think a lot of educators have already seen a lot of this stuff. So, what I wanted to show you guys is some of the things that have been going on in the background. So, that is actually courtesy Vivek and his awesome team. So, let me show you that. So, we have created a Python tutorial series for PictoBlox. So, and as you can see, for grade 9th and 10th, CBSE has emphasized quite a lot on the Python skill subject, Python as a technical skill. So, how to understand Python, how to go about, doing projects with Python, especially with PictoBlox. A lot of you had requested for a basic tutorial series. So here you can get idea of how to use debugger, how to build simple games, object detection using ChatGPT, ML, REPL mode, how to build data frames, how to install any kind of pip package on Python. So just to share with you anything that you want to install on PictoBlox Python, PictoBlox Python supports all of it. So anything that you install on Python IDE can also be installed on PictoBlox Python, right? So you can go through this tutorial series. It is there on YouTube, and you can refer to it. Already more than 3,000 educators have gone through the introductory sessions, and we are very confident that this will be super helpful for you guys. But can you identify some of these different terms, right? So there is something like debugger. So that seems a little interesting. There's something like a REPL mode. And that also seems a little new to a lot of our educators. So I had just opened PictoBlox on my desktop. Just let me share it with you, right? So what I wanted to show you guys was, so we have added these two features on PictoBlox. So if you go to the Python editor, you get these two features of debugger and the REPL mode, right? So the idea behind debugger mode is basically if on an IDE, if I am executing a command, right? Let's say I'm executing a command of print hello world. Okay. Now I can run it, and ideally it should show the command on terminal. Now, if I only want, so here you can see this sprite Toby, right? So it executed the entire program. But let's say I only want to execute this snippet of my code. So I can do a REPL mode and it will only run this specified component of the code, right? So that is one idea. Then secondly, with the debugger mode, the idea is that for a student, it is always very tough to move from the block-based coding environment to the Python coding environment. So a debugger really helps them to sort of understand where those minor mistakes are, right? And how they can correct it. So that is the idea. We have built a lot of these things on PictoBlox Python now. So we are pretty excited that with this new curriculum that we have, and also with the kind of modifications that CBSE has done, we are very confident that you will be able to take up this subject very, very well. And finally, I'll come back to my presentation. So this marks at least the end of the sort of one-way communication of this webinar. We'll focus now on the questions that some of you have put up on the chat. So I'll try to answer them for you. Do scan this QR code for getting a free sample of the book. So the samples are available in digital format, in hard copy format, anything that you need. Just fill out this feedback form and our team will be in touch with you and share the sample with you ASAP. Right. Also, if you want a participation certificate, just share us feedback again. That will be helpful, and we'll be sending the participation certificate to you over email. So that is the end of the one-way communication. But Vivek, if you can share some of the questions that educators have put up, or there is anything else that you guys want to ask, maybe me or maybe to Varsha ma'am, we are there for you. So yeah, over to you, Vivek.
Yeah, thank you so much, first of all, Ms. Varsha, for sharing the insights, how STEMpedia is working up to cater the needs of not just the schools, but for the teachers as well as the students. And thank you, Mr. Swapnil, for sharing the insights and updates about the CBSE curriculum for class 9th and 10th, and what we have done so fast to cater to it as well. Now, there are just a few questions. Number one is, how can I access to the sample books? I think that you already have answered that you have to fill up the feedback form by which you will be getting the participation certificate, and you can also request for the digital samples of these books. So we are open to more questions if you have any. If not, the feedback form link is already shared in the chat box, and it is also pinned for all of you. Or you can scan the QR code that Mr. Swapnil is presenting. Please feel free to ask any questions to Ms. Varsha or to Mr. Swapnil, who have joined us for this amazing webinar. And make sure once you fill the feedback form, kindly do give us a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can move ahead. Okay, we have one question stating what computer with which format is needed for the classes. So I think they are asking for the requirements. So we can convert a already existing computer lab into the AI robotics lab. I think Mr. Swapnil already mentioned that. Mr. Swapnil, would you like to also add some points to it?
Sure, sure. I think the idea behind PictoBlox has always been to make AI education accessible to more and more people. So it runs from Windows 10 i3 sort of 4 GB configuration. That is sort of the minimum we generally recommend, because a lot of you also open the Google Chrome, which takes up a lot of RAM actually, in case you ever see it on Task Manager. So that is the minimum configuration. But in case you have Windows 7 as well, you can try to run PictoBlox. It actually runs there. But then for some of the heavy operations like face detection, which requires camera presence, that is where some of the issues lie. So just to summarize, I think i3 and 4 GB RAM, Windows 10, I think that is the base configuration beyond which anything is a really a luxury for us.
True. I just wanted to add on one more point, that PictoBlox is available on any type of device, whether it's Android, iOS, iPad, Android tablets, the Lenovo tablets or Chromebooks. So it's available on Windows, Mac, and every other OS that is out there. So that is why we call it as one-stop solution to implement AI and coding in a classroom. We have one question coming up for Ms. Varsha as well. Ms. Varsha, the question states, what are the challenges that is being faced in AI course implementation?
So the major challenge I am facing, not now, uh, like you have given me lots of activities through the books and through the online resources, that AI is a new subject. Like students are switching from ICT to AI. Like till class 8, they have just computer system, Windows, different versions, of operating systems, MS Word, MS Access, that's it. But they are switching from ICT to AI. It's a major challenges for teachers and for students as well, because the subject is new, the concept is new, and AI is keep on changing every year. As you can see, they delete some part and add new, some revised topics there. So complete AI is complete. Sorry, complete syllabus is based on AI project cycle, which is in 6 stages, and the complete course is roaming around the 6 stages only, like from problem scooping till deployment. So each and every stage required not only theoretical part, just we have to make the student aware or understand through practical activities. So that activities you have to find from different platforms, like online. If you're surfing from online or different resources, it is very difficult which stage is required, the different kind of activities, which only STEMpedia's AI curriculum can give you. So now I am planning, like I'm updating my lesson plans. It's a summer break, so I have ample of time to update my activities and revise the syllabus. So you can go through each topic and choose the activities from online resources as well. Like I these days I'm using Quirky Kits for a project cycle as well, for implementation, for deployment. So it's helping me. So not only this, there are lots of struggle for teachers also. You have to plan your personalized activities. Only through that you can help students. So that's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I truly do agree with your points over here that you have mentioned, and I do feel like whenever you get the chance to empower yourself or to sharpen your own knowledge, one should do that as well. Same question regarding this particular thing. One educator have asked, is there any ecosystem or teacher courses, free of course, that are available? So I have to say that yes, we do have something for the teachers as well. As Mr. Swapnil also mentioned, we already have a lot of resources for the teachers on our LMS, but we also have something that we are coming up with. It's something new. It's something that we have been doing since, I don't know, last many years. This is another opportunity for you all to upgrade yourself. And that is the new international teacher training program on Python with PictoBlox. So we are coming up with this teacher training program. It's going to start from 23rd of June and going to run till 27th. And I'm sharing the link here in the chat box. It is completely free. It's an international level of training program in which teachers from around the globe will be joining us live on YouTube itself. You will be getting a digital badge as well as a participation certificate. And the top performers will be rewarded with STEMpedia's AI and robotics kits. So yes, we do have a lot for teachers as well. Another question is coming up from Kajida. It states, is it possible to be connected to an experienced educator through WhatsApp? It is. We do have our own PictoBlox teachers community. So once you go through this website, which I have just posted in the chat box, which is for the International Teacher Training Program, at the bottom, you will also find the WhatsApp group links. You can join that over WhatsApp or Telegram, and we'll be more than happy to keep you updated. There, a lot of teachers talk. There are teachers from various countries. They talk about PictoBlox. They talk about AI in education. They talk about what exactly are the trends in education systems. So yeah, that is a community that we have for you all. Where will you get the free samples? So we will be sharing the free samples digitally to you. You have to request it in the feedback form that I've shared, which is also pinned in the chat box. So I think we have covered up everything and we are good to go. So thanks a lot, Mr. Swapnil, and thank you so much, Varsha ma'am, for joining us live. And I hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, all educators. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Varsha ma'am.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Same here. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.